तो स्पीकर में म्यूट दिख रहा है सिंबल पे।
स्पीकर स्पीकर
स्पीकर में जाइए नीचे डाउन।
ये हाँ तो ये ना सेलेक्ट
जब असंग स्थिति निवृत्ति मार्ग कथित आदो भगवता यथा to the highest planetary system, Brahmaloka, from which one is promoted to the spiritual world. With Lord Brahma. Thus one repetition of birth and death in the material world, serious. So, pravitti marga, nivitti marga. Pravitti resang bhutanam nivittesu mahaphalam. Pravitti means inclination. Here, in the material world, everyone is inclined to gratify the senses. This is material world. Everyone is trying. Ahara nidra bhayavaikakancha. The best type of ahara nidra. Even in the human form of life, they are also trying for the same thing as cats and dogs are trying. The cats and dogs, they are also trying to find out where it is food, where sleeping, comfort, where sex life, and where defense. In the human form of life is also utilized for this purpose, pravitti marga. Then it is, as I was talking in the past, it is just like using sandalwood for burning fuel. There is distinction even in wood. There are so many jungle wood. We can use it for cooking. But if the sandalwood, which is so valuable, if we do not know what is the value of sandalwood, if we use it for cooking and burning, similarly,
Samsiti,
Nivitti Marga Kathita Adu,
Nivritti Marga Patita Ado,
Bhagavata Jatha,
Bhagavata Vita,
Kramajoga Palabdhina,
Paramayoga Jena,
Brahmanajat Asangsiti.
Samsiti.
Maharaj Parikshit said, O my Lord, O Sukadeva Goswami, you have already described in the second canto the path of liberation, Nivitti Marga. By following that path, one is certainly elevated gradually to the highest planetary system, Brahmaloka, from which one is promoted to the spiritual world along with Lord Brahma. Thus one repetition of birth and death in the material world ceases. So, pravitti marga, nivitti marga. Pravittireshang bhutanam nivittesu mahaphalam. Pravitti means inclination. Here, in the material world, everyone is inclined to gratify the senses. This is material world. Everyone is trying. Ahara nidra bhaya bhaya. The best type of ahara nidra. Even in the human form of life, they are also trying for the same thing as cats and dogs are trying. The cats and dogs, they are also trying to find out where it is food, where is sleeping, comfort, where sex life, and where defense. In the human form of life is also utilized for this purpose, pravitti marga. Then it is, as I was talking in the past, it is just like using sandalwood for burning fuel. There is distinction even in wood. There are so many jungle wood, we can use it for cooking. But if the sandalwood, which is so valuable, if we do not know what is the value of sandalwood, if we use it for cooking and burning, similarly, if we use this human form of life exactly like the cats and dogs, simply for sense gratification, then we are committing suicide. The whole Vedic civilization means how to utilize this human form of life for better purposes. Even modern scientific point of view, not scientific, but they say, accepting their version, just like Darwin's theory, by evolution you come to the human form of man, accepting that from monkey one becomes a human being. So what is after this form? That they have no information. What is the next life? If the evolution that is also accepted in the Padma Purana, 8,400,000 species, forms of life, and then we come to this human form of life. Then what is next? That is the question. But they have no knowledge, they have no sense, they cannot explain what is next. And there is next life. By evolutionary process, through the channel of so many species of life, 900,000 aquatics, and Jalajana, Mulakkani, Savara, 2 million trees and plants, then 1,100,000 insects, 1 million species of birds, and then 33 million species of animals, four-legged animals, pashu. And then we get this human form of life, especially civilized form of life. Then what is next? That question nobody inquired. Neither there is answer by the so-called modern scientists. What is next? But the answer is there. Answer is there in the Vedic literature that there is higher planetary system. We can see at night there are so many millions and millions of planets. So we can go there. That is stated in the Bhagavad Gita that urdham gacchanti sattvasva. Now we have come to the human form of life. If we cultivate satogun, the material world is composed of three modes of material nature. The satogun, rajogun and tamagun. So if we remain in the satogun, then we shall be promoted to the higher planetary system. If we remain in rajogun, then we shall remain where we are. And if we remain in tamagun, ignorance, then we shall go down again to the lower species of life. This is the laws of nature. Prakritekyamanani gunai sarvani sarvasa ahankara vimuratma kartaham iti varnate. The rascals, they are thinking they are independent. They are not independent. Completely under the control of the material nature. Otherwise, why there are different species of life? Where is the arrangement? The arrangement is there. If you remain in Satogun, then you get higher form of life. Nature's law is so perfect that it hasn't got to create. It is automatic. Just like if you infect some disease, germs, you will automatically suffer from that disease. Similarly, if we are in contamination, satogun, rajogun, satogun here, satogun is also a contamination. And what to speak of rajogun, tamagun. So, this is called pravritti marga. According to our inclination, we are contacting a certain type of the modes of material nature, and you are getting different types of body. Karanam gunasanga assa sadasat janma yonishu. Karanam, why one is getting better position and why one is not getting, why one is dog and why one is millionaire. So, it is due to our association with different modes of material nature. So here it is said, Nimittimarga kathita adu bhagavata jatha karmayoga upalabdhena brahmana chad asamsiti. Samsiti means the cycle of birth and death. This is called samsiti. And asamsiti means stop the cycle of birth and death and go back to home, back to Godhead. Then if you want to go back to home, back to Godhead, then you have to follow the nivitti marga. Pravritti is there, my inclination is there. But if you practice nivitti marga, then you overcome the cycle of birth and death, samsiti. This human form of life is meant for nivitti marga, not to indulge the sense gratification, but minimize sense gratification as far as possible. Try to make it zero. Then that is called nivitti marga. We require this eating, sleeping, mating and defending. But if we try practice. That is called austerity. Tapo dibbam putraka jina suddhir satta. Suddha. Suddha means purification. Existence, purifying the existence. We are eternal, we are existing. But on account of impurity, we have got this material body. And it is subjected to the laws of material nature, and we have to change one after another. This is pravrittiman. But in the human form of life, if we come to senses that why I shall accept repetition of birth, death, old age, disease, and so many miserable conditions, that is called sense. That is intelligence. That intelligence can be developed in human form of life. And if we do not do, then the same example, just we use the sandalwood for burning purpose. Thank you very much. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So, Nivitti,
Nivritti,
Marga,
Marga,
Kathita,
Prathita,
Ado,
Aro,
Bhagavata,
Bhagavata,
Jatha,
Jatha,
Karma,
Karma,
Yoga,
Yoga,
Upalambhena,
Uparambhena,
Brahmana,
Brahmana,
Jad,
Jad,
Asangsiti,
Samsiti,
Pravitti,
Prakriti,
Lakkhana,
Lakshana,
Chaiva,
Chaiva,
Trigunna, I am the soul, the same. Allowed if I utilize human form of life. Your all labor is simply, you can solace simply for constructing very high skyscraper buildings and do not know what form of body I am going to accept next. That is not very good intelligence. My business is that by nature's evolutionary process, I have come to this human form of life. Now I have got good intelligence, better than the animals. If I utilize that intelligence for simply having nice motor car and skyscraper building, but I do not know what is my future, then it is not very good intelligence. You can construct a very nice skyscraper building and you can have a nice car, but you will not be allowed to stay here. What you have done for that? You will be kicked out at any moment. Then your all labor is simply, you can solace yourself that my children will enjoy or my grandsons will enjoy. But why not you enjoy yourself? That is very uncertain. Any moment I shall be kicked out. And then if it is a fact that I am going to accept another body, there is no guarantee what kind of body I am going to accept. I have constructed a skyscraper building on account of my attachment. I may be allowed by the nature's law to stay in that building, but if by my activities I become a rat or cat in that building, then what is the profit? We are under the nature's law. You cannot say that you are independent. Nature's law is very strict. Prakriti kriyamanani guni karmani sarvas. Nature's law just like fire. If you touch fire, it will burn. And even a child who is innocent, if the child touches the fire, it will burn. There is no excuse. You cannot say that the child is innocent, it does not know the effect of touching fire. She should be excused. No. Ignorance is no excuse. Especially, that is the state laws. You cannot say, suppose you have committed some criminal act, if you plead, my Lord, I did not know that after doing this act I had to suffer imprisonment. So excuse me. No, that will be no excuse. You know or not know the law. If you have acted like that, you might suffer. This is going on. So we don't believe in the next life just to avoid this consequence. But that will not excuse us. We have to accept a type of body. Otherwise, how? There are so many different types of bodies. What is the explanation? Why different forms of body, different stages of body, different standard of body? That is nature's law. Therefore, this human form of life should be properly utilized. Not simply engaged in sense gratification like cats and dogs. That is not very responsible life. Responsible life is that I have got this improved form of life than the cats and dogs, and I have got more intelligence than the cats and dogs. If I simply utilize it for 4 bodily necessities of life, 4 bodily necessities of life means we require some eating. The cats, dogs, human being, or High Court judge or anyone, they require some eating. They require sleeping, apartment. So that is, cats and dogs can sleep without apartment. But the sleeping required, that is fact. Eating required, that is fact. And sex life, that is also fact. And defense, that is also fact. But these things are common to the cats and dogs and man, human being. So what is the special feature of the human being? The special feature of the human being is that a human being can consider that I have got this nice American or Australian or Indian body, then what I am going to get next? What kind of body? That is utilized for human intelligence. A cat and dog cannot think like that. Therefore our business should be, now by the nature's way, I have come to this form of life, by evolutionary process. Now I have got good intelligence, how I shall utilize it? That proper utilization is indicated in the Vedanta philosophy. Vedanta philosophy, perhaps you have heard the name. Veda means knowledge, and Anta means last stage or end. Everything has got some end. So you are being educated, you are taking education, where it shall end. That is called Vedanta. Where the ultimate point. The Vedanta philosophy says, that is Vedanta philosophy. Ultimate knowledge. The ultimate knowledge That is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. What is that ultimate knowledge? Vedaishta sadvai ahameva vedyam. You are cultivating knowledge. The ultimate goal of knowledge, Krishna says, is to know me. Vedaishta sadvai ahameva vedyam. The whole knowledge is meant for understanding God. That is the end of knowledge. By progressive knowledge, you can make progress, but unless you do not come to the point to understand what is God, then your knowledge is imperfect. That is called Vedanta. Athata Brahma Jigyasa. This human form of life, nice facility, intelligence, just like Australia was undeveloped since the Europeans came here. It is now very developed, resourceful, because the intelligence has been utilized. Similarly, America, many other places. So this intelligence should be utilized. But if we simply utilize this intelligence for the same purpose as the cats and dogs are engaged, then it is not proper utilization. The proper utilization is Vedanta, Athata Brahma Jigyasa. Now you should inquire about Brahma, the Absolute. That is intelligence. So, the Krishna consciousness movement, as I have repeatedly said, it is that culture, Athata Brahma Jigyasa. What is the ultimate aim of life, ultimate goal of life? Because I am eternal, I am simply changing body. Na jayate na mriyate va kadachit. Kadachit means any time. The Atma, the soul, is never born. Na jayate. The living soul. Na jayate. Na jayate means never born. Like I see, my child is born. No, that you see the body of the child. Not the child as soul. That is knowledge. That is called Brahma, Gyan. That this body, I am not this body, I am spirit soul. Then the inquiry will be, then where from the spirit soul has come? That should be the inquiry. And why, if I am eternal, then why I am put to this condition of repetition of birth and death? These are inquiries. This is called Brahma Jigyasa. Brahma Jigyasa means inquiry about the spirit soul. That is Brahma Jigyasa. So in this way, we should utilize our intelligence, life, not simply for these bodily comforts of life. No, that bodily comforts of life, even the dogs and hogs, they are also seeking. They are also seeking. Then what is the difference between dogs, hogs and myself? Therefore Shastra says, Nayang deho deho bhajang niloke kastan kaman arhati vir bhujang. This is the warning given by Maharaj Rishabdev to his sons. My dear sons, don't spoil your life working very hard like the dogs and hogs just to satisfy your senses. This is instruction. We are being taught at the modern age that work very hard and enjoy your senses. This is modern civilization. Get money somewhere or other and spend it for sense gratification. That is the goal. Nate vidu sarthagating hi Vishnu they are not taught, they are not educated that what is the end of life, goal of life. That is God realization. They do not know it. Nate vidu. They do not know it. Nate vidu sarthaka thing. Everyone is self-interest. Everyone is looking after his self-interest. That's good, very good. But do you know what is your self-interest? That they do not. Somebody is thinking my self-interest is this, somebody is thinking my self-interest is this, and therefore there is collision, strife, fight. But actually the self-interest is one, at least for the human being. What is that? Realization of God. It is equally important for the Americans, it is equally important for the Indians, equally important for every living being, especially for the civilized man. This is self-interest. Athātu brahma jigyāsa. What is that absolute truth? Jivasya tattva jigyāsa. That should be our first business. Of course we require a living place and eating materials and sex arrangement or defense arrangement. That is required. You do that. But don't forget your main business. Then you are cats and dogs. Your main business is God realization. That what Shastra says, that I am Deha. Deha means this body. I am means this. What is this body? Na I am Deha, Deho Bhajang and Niloke. Deho Bhajang. Deho Bhajang, one has got this material body. Everyone, all living entities, either a cat, dog or human being, everyone has got this material body. If you analyze the body of a dog and your body, you will find the same ingredients. The same blood, the same skin, the same mucus, the same bone, the same urine, same stool. That is bodily construction. So bodily construction is the same. There is no difference. From chemical point of view, from physical point of view, the same thing. Just like the biologists, they study the human body by dissecting the frog's body. They say, the biologists say, that there is similarity of anatomical construction of the pigs, frogs and the human body. Anyway, we also accept that, because after all it is material body. So the arrangement in the frog's body and in the dog's body or in the human body, it must be the same material. So then what is the advantage of this human body? That is instructed. Ayanga this body, this particular type of body, human body, is not meant for the purpose serving the cats and dogs. Nayanga dehu bhajanga niloke. Niloke means in the human society. Ni means human being. The human society, when you have got this nice body, you should not utilize this body for the same business as the cats and dogs and hogs are utilized. How the hogs are, especially this animal has been, Nayanga dehu bhajanga niloke kastan kaman. Kastan kaman means with hard labor to satisfy the four necessities of life. The four necessities of life I have already mentioned. Eating, sleeping, sex life and defense. This is bodily necessity. So, the hog or the pig he is trying to maintain his body. You have no experience. In India you have got experience. In the villages there are hogs. Day and night they are loitering in the street, and when they find out some stool, they are very happy. Therefore this animal has been especially mentioned, that do you spoil your life like the hog, working day and night duty, work day duty, and this duty, that duty, and what is again? You get some food which may not be very nice, and eat it, and then you satisfy your sex. Is that life very perfect life? That is being done by the hogs. They are working day and night to find out where is stool. Stool is not very good food, but it is for them very good food. If you offer the hog halwa, they will not accept it. They will accept stool. Just like, don't mind, we are offering such nice food, but people do not like. They'll go to the restaurant and eat some rotten, 1 week past, some meat preparation. They like. I do not know, but I have heard it from my disciple. When it is decomposed and rotten, it is tasteful. It is very tasteful. They say. I do not know. I have never taken meat in my life. So I do not know. So anyway, according to different position, the taste is also different. The hog taste is, it likes stool. That means it can accept any damn food stuff, even up to stool. That is hog's life. And human life, no. Why should you accept? You just have nice fruits, flowers, grains, and vegetables, and prepared from milk product, and eat it. God has given you this. Why should you eat stool? This is human consciousness. So when better food is available, I must take the best food, full of vitamins, full of taste, full of energy. Why should I take something else? No, that is human intelligence. Therefore, our program